So next it gets to the body wings, and I can show you some rudimentary body wings. These are the kind of shape drawn onto them wings that are, you know, as you can see, still very rough cut. These are going to be planed down to final thickness, and these are for the neck, which are which is right over here. That kind of momentarily headstock this one we checked out earlier. So once we're at the point where the frets are in and everything's all set, because it's much easier to work on before the body's attached, we'll get this set up like that, and then suddenly it looks a lot like a guitar.
It's starting to look like a guitar there,
And we'll either bandsaw this out and shape it by hand, or in some cases we'll use a template on the router table, but you know, in all these cases we're really doing them one by one by one, kind of getting in the project. But yeah, so this is gluing this together and cutting that out would be kind of the next step. So once all of that's set, we start shaping the top and shaping the back and sanding everything out until it starts to look like this. This is, you know, it's still not where it needs to be, but it's certainly much farther than that is. And drilling the tuner holes in the headstock, radiusing the fretboard, putting the fret wire in there, any face inlays that the customer might want. So drilling holes for the electronics, routing for all the wires and all the guts that are going to go in the electronics cavity. And then once all of that stuff is finished, it's ready to go into the spray booth. And we actually spent a few weeks building a spray booth for our needs. And yeah, so this is our kind of makeshift spray booth that's worked really, really well for us.
I have a spray booth at home, but it's not for this.
And we have a really wild-looking guitar here that's just been sprayed with the color code.
This is like a scene from Saw, but for instruments. Wow, so that's an interesting fretboard inlay right there.
Yep, he wanted Roman numerals, and all of this is hand cut by yours truly at another.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's another, like, so the precision there. Making your one here look like your one's here. That's that takes a lot of practice, doesn't it?
It does.
That sort of thing.
And to emphasize this again, it takes a lot of patience. With all of these, I generally start with a paper template. And then I'll glue that to the. I'll design the pattern if it isn't already. You know, I want this font at this size, and glue that to the back of the pearl blanks, and then use a jeweler's saw, cut the entire thing out, shape it with diamond files, and then sand it to the point where it's ready to install. Trace the outline of each piece where it's going to be on the fretboard, route that using a tiny little router bit in a Dremel hand tool, like a little rotary tool, and then glue them in there with a mixture of wood filler and epoxy, level the entire thing, and get it ready for oil paints. And then
it's almost done.
And then it's basically a thing.
Stick in the metal stuff.